Okay, so you finally got your ROG Xbox Ally X and you're trying to turn it on and play some games. First things first, you gotta plug it in. You gotta plug in on the first port next to the volume control. Once the light turns on, then you can go ahead and hit the power button. Just click it, it'll turn right on. Here we go. We're starting up for the first time, and pow, there it is, the Xbox ROG Ally X loading screen for the first time. So now we're not loading into a console, so you're not going to be able to play for the next hour. However, I'm going to walk you through a few things that you need to do before you continue on your journey to play video games as a PC handheld. The problem that a lot of people are having, and I see it a lot on Reddit, is that they don't understand that things need to be updated. And if you don't update those things on the device itself, it's not going to perform the way you expected it to. So we're going to go ahead and load in. All right, so you can see Windows 11 loading in. It's going to go ahead and make you select a language to continue. I live in the US, so I'm going to go ahead and select English. All right, now we're going to go ahead and select the region we live in. Like I said, I live in the United States. The keyboard layout is going to be US. No secondary keyboard layout. We're going to skip that. We're going to go ahead and hook up to the Wi-Fi. I'm search for my Wi-Fi. There we go. We got my Wi-Fi. I'm going to go ahead and connect. All right, let me put in the password. Be right back. All right, now that we're logged in, we're secured with our internet connection. We're going to go ahead and hit next. We're going to check for updates, and this is the lengthy process that Windows goes through to get it all up to date. I'm just go ahead and fast forward all this for you, that we don't have to deal with it. It's going to restart a few times, and immediately it's going to apply all those updates. Now we have made it to the license agreement for Windows 11, so we're going to go ahead and read through the terms and hit accept. We're going to name the device Paco because my handheld is my best friend, and my best friend's name is Paco. So we're going to go ahead and name him Paco. Don't judge me. I do live in the United States. I'm not from Mexico. Don't judge me. All right, I'm going to fast forward through this. This is Windows updating all the information. We have a computer or a device name, and we're going to go ahead and create that initial installation of Windows 11 onto the handheld PC. As it's doing this, I'm just going to fast forward through it. As you can see, you're fast forwarding right through it. I'm doing a voiceover for this. Xbox Game Pass is available. You get 3 months free from the person. If you bought it from Best Buy, you get 3 months for free. If not, you have 1 month of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate that lasts until 2027. You sign up. When you sign into the ROG Xbox Ally X for the first time. So we're going to speed through this installation. It takes about an hour to do. So mind you, just remember you're going to set aside 1 hour to do all this stuff before you start gaming on it. Okay, we're loading back in. It did the initial installation. It's going to load back in. It's going to ask you to unlock your Microsoft experience. It's going to ask you to sign into your Microsoft account. I am going to go ahead and create one. I don't know if you have one, if you ever created an Xbox account or you ever created a PC account through Microsoft. Go ahead and log into yours. I'm going to fast forward through mine. I'm just going to create a brand new one. I'm going to add my email that I have already squared away that I use nothing. I use this email for nothing. So you can go ahead and not email me anything and stay out of my inbox, and we'll be okay. So I'm going to go ahead and look it up first, and then I'm going to input it here. I went and grabbed my phone just to make sure I had the right one. I created a password also. So my name is Lumez, so I'm going to choose to put that as my name. That's my first name. My second name is going to be my YouTube channel, which is going to be gaming. I'm going to go ahead and insert that as my first and last name. It's going to go ahead and click next. It's going to ask me for my country and date of birth. I did that. It's going to send me an email to verify my email from Microsoft. So I'm going to go ahead and insert that. verification code. There it is. I entered it. Here it goes. It's loading up. It's going to ask you to please wait as it's getting your Microsoft account ready. You want to use your fingerprint to sign in. Initially I said no, but I went back and set it up because that's the right thing to do. If you're interested in setting yours up, see that power button there? That's your fingerprint scanner. So you go ahead and put your finger right over the top of it. It's going to read your fingerprint and it's going to be able to log you into the device every time you turn it on. If you want other people's fingerprints on there, you're more than welcome to add more. I'll show you how to do it later in a different video. You could probably figure it out yourself if you wanted to, but you can add multiple fingerprints from you, multiple people's fingerprints. Everybody can get in. It's going to ask you to set up a pin. I struggled a little bit with this. I tried to set up the pin at least like 8 times, couldn't figure it out. So I just went ahead and made a simple pin. Go ahead and accept that pin. Click OK to accept the pin. It's going to go ahead and update. I turned location off, but I left on find my device just in case I lose my device or somebody steals my device. I'm able to get a tracking on it. That way I can either report it to authorities or give that contact information to the person who has found my device if I lost it. I want to take precautionary measures and make sure I have find my device locked in. That way if I need to find it, I can find it. Go ahead and click accept. I'm going to go ahead and get things ready. Jesus, I don't want an Jesus account, so I skipped that. Skipped Microsoft Microsoft Game Pass. I skipped setting up an account and buying it. It's installing the update for Microsoft Full Screen Experience. This is what we were talking about when we said full screen experience. This is exactly what it is. It's going to ask me to sign in to my Microsoft account to pull up that full screen experience Xbox account so I can play those games if I have any available, or just to use the full screen experience. I can't believe they named me HordyCast and they made me a dwarf with an axe. That's very immature. Xbox, I appreciate you for doing that I don't appreciate you doing that to me, but you know, hey, it is what it is. I don't believe it's random. I think it is. It is not random. I'm going to put only required data because I do not want Microsoft to steal my information or sell my information. So you're limited to what you can get, Microsoft. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. You have enough data. So now that we're logged into a Xbox full screen experience, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the games because I was like, oh, am I able to play any of these games? I don't have Xbox Game Pass on this account, so I'm not able to play any of the games. However, I was able to take a look at them. First things first, we're going to hit the Armoury Crate button because we need to go and do some more updates. Then we're going to scroll on the top all the way to Armoury Crate. We're going to go ahead and launch the command center. It's going to initialize your first time. This is exactly what happens. What we want to do from here is we want to go to the Open Armoury Crate SE little tab there. We're going to click on that. We're going to push A. We're going to load into Armoury Crate. This is the startup screen. It takes a little while, but you'll get used to it. So what you're doing here is you're trying to update the service. You're trying to update the core of the operating system for the games. You want to update the way the motherboard works with the chipset. You want to update the way the CPU works with the GPU, and the GPU works with the motherboard and the power, all that good stuff. We're going to update all that stuff. You're going to install your 360 controller emulator because that's the controller, the emulating. The controller you see in front of you of the device is that emulation. If you have the white version, I would go light. Since I have the black version, I'm going to go dark because it just looks cool. The Armoury Crate just looks cool in dark mode. It's just amazing. I'm going to go ahead and click next. That's my opinion, though. I mean, you can choose and do what you want to do with it. But I just think light mode looks better on the white device. Dark mode looks better on the black device. I'm going to click next. Fat fingered. Run Armoury Crate SE at startup. No, we're not going to click that because we want to run full screen experience. That's where we want to go to. So it's going to tell you to download all your favorite games. You don't need to. It's going to tell you to manage all your games in one library. You have full screen experience for that. Personalize your controls. You can change the button layouts. You can change what they do. You have access. You have access to your handy features. You can start your adventure now in Armoury Crate. I'm gonna just say get started. First things first, we're gonna click on Update Center. That's most important. We're gonna click on the top button. We're gonna check for updates. What we want to do is we want to update the core before we update any of the device end components. So the reason we update the core is because if the core is not up to date, those device and components are not going to be at the earliest version possible. So they might give you issues if you update those first as you're trying to update the core. So I would start with the core because the core is most important. We want to update the core first. So I'm going to go ahead and click Update Core. I'm talking about how you need to update the device and components after. Those dates may change. So we're going to go ahead and update. I fast forward through this whole thing for you. It might take you a little longer. If you need to pause the video, pause the video. If you don't like doing this, please in the comments let me know. If you want more videos, tips, and tricks on how to do stuff with your Asus ROG Xbox Ally X, you can go ahead and leave a comment in the comments and I'll get to it. It's going to let me update the core. I mean, not the core. I updated the core and then I checked again for updates. So now I'm going to update all the device and components. So we did have one more core update that I installed. And now I'm downloading all the how. I'm updating the drivers for the device, the Radeon graphics card, the audio graphics driver, the chipset driver, and the Wi-Fi driver, just to make sure that I got the most optimal speeds for the Wi-Fi, the best sound for the audio driver, the best visuals for the graphics driver, and the best computing hardware for the CPU. We want to make sure that the device computes at an optimal speed. My screen went blank during that initial startup, during that initial stall for the GPU. So I just let it do its thing. It took a little bit longer than expected because it did go blank and it never came back. So I just went ahead and shook it. Asked me to restart, so I just restarted. We're gonna log back into ROG Xbox full screen experience. Here we go. For the first time after updating everything, we're jumping back into full screen experience. And we have so many options. It's working flawlessly. It's working perfect. We have so many more options than we had before. We're able to change the TDP. I'll show you how to do that in a second. We also have some more information on how to optimize games if we want to optimize games. So go ahead and click that button, go back to the Armoury Crate and check for more updates. This is the most important thing you can do once a month or twice a month, however often you want to do it. Most important thing you can do is check for updates. We leave that automatic essential update on because if the device has something new like Asus just released some information where they're trying to get the AI to automatically optimize itself while you're playing the game, you want to have that essential update happen because in real time it will update it, and then when you go to play your game it will optimize itself. Some people don't know how to optimize the device, so it gives you that option. Now I'm showing you how I was able to get my own operating mode or the multiple operating mode options. Now, before we get started, we're going to go ahead and go into performance because it's important that we change one thing. There's more settings. We got to make sure the power mode synchronization is on because if the power changes in the system, you want it to change in the app. Also, you want the app to have control over the system. If you change the TDP to 17 or 13 in silent or 17 performance mode, you want the system to actually change that too. So you're going to give options to that system. So if I click on one of these, it's going to change in the system, not just the app. You want it to not just change in the app. You want it to change the whole system mainframe. So we went ahead and give that options. Now here you're going to see I have everything turned off. You can optimize if you want, but the best thing you can do is take it from 8 gigabytes to 10 gigabytes. I went up to 12 just to show you how to do it, but it definitely will say 8 gigabytes of VRAM. You want to take that 8 gigabyte and make it 10 because that's the sweet spot, at least from what I noticed and what I tried. That's the sweet spot for VRAM, for the video RAM of your GPU, to give it that image, that sharpness, that quick variable fresh rate. You don't want it to kind of stutter and lag while you're playing a game. That is the sweet spot. 10 gigabytes is where you want to be. And that's where I put my device at. I did change it to 12 just for this video, but it was just me showing you that once you change it, you have to reset and all that good stuff. So we're going to go ahead and get back into the full screen experience, into the device. It's going to load back up with those optimized settings. 12 gigabytes of RAM, 12 gigabytes of VRAM. So it's sharing half and half with the PC, and it's the other half is going to the video card, or the CPU and the video card. I'm going to go ahead and use my fingerprint reader to log back in. All right, now that we're in, it's going to load up Xbox full screen because that's what we made it launch from startup. So we wanted to launch straight into Xbox full screen. I'm going to click on Armoury Crate button. We're going to go ahead, and you can add more things here. You can customize this layout. You can add, like, if you want to use the real-time monitor, you want to see the GPU, how it's performing, the CPU, how it's performing, the battery life. You can click this button here. It'll give you a minimal. That's a minimal. It'll give you a row, which is a longer bar, and it'll give you a full square, which is like more details on how the monitor is doing, how the device is doing. You can check the temperatures, the times, your battery life, your frames per second. You can always change it to check the CPU temp, the GPU temp, all that good stuff, the power, the draw, the load. You can always customize these buttons too. There's so many more buttons I'll show you here. Once you log in, you can change to gamepad control mode. You can turn on the resolution. If you want to lower the resolution, you're playing an indie game or an old retro game and you want to lower the resolution, you can do that. You want to limit the frames per second. If you want to change any of the RSR, you can change any of that refresh rate, and now you have the option to change any of those TDPs. And we're going to go ahead and go back into Armoury Crate, and I'm going to show you some cool stuff that you can do here. So as it loads, you can change the lighting of the thumbsticks. You can go static, you can go breathing, and to change the color over here on the side, you just got to click on those colors and you just got to change them. So there's the red. I want red, and I'm gonna click OK, and then I'm gonna change the other one to, let's go orange, because I want to make it look like fire, and I'm gonna speed it up a little bit and I'm gonna make it look cool. So here's the speed. It's gonna run through those colors. They're gonna look pretty nice, pretty dope. So yeah, that's how you change that. You can change the brightness if you're trying to sleep and you want to stay up, to put a blue light on and just make it bright. You want a strobe light, you want to have a disco before you go to bed. If you play before you go to bed, you want a disco, go ahead and do that. You can strobe light it. You can do color cycle. It'll cycle through all the colors at whatever speed you pick, high, low, and medium. It'll be as bright as you want it to be, but it does affect the battery life of the device. So I would definitely recommend not going too crazy with the colors and the brightness, unless you're going to be plugged in all the time. You can change the direction in which the rainbow cycles. You can also do RS sync if you have any devices like a gamepad, headphones, mouse, keyboard. You can all make them RS sync together just through the motherboard of the device or through this application. We also have device info. You don't need to see any of that stuff. What you want, the quick launch settings, is to go to Xbox. I don't want it to go to Armoury Crate or settings. We'll go ahead and check the storage. I got 1 terabyte, just like everybody else. Y'all got 1 terabyte. I would definitely recommend checking out your battery life. If you're going to keep it plugged in, I would turn this battery care mode on because it limits the charging to 80%, which will not affect your battery as much as leaving it off and charging the whole time, or leaving it plugged in the whole time. This keeps your battery from going too high and overcharging and deteriorating over time. You can turn that on, the instant full charge mode. You can turn that on if you want, if you're going to be plugged in. It's up to you. If you want to go above 100%, take your handheld and go, you can do that as well. That's about it for all these options that I was telling you about. You have your game options. I'm going to go ahead and skip through all this stuff real quick. and then it's going to tell you you can download all your games from these platforms from Asus. You can do the Xbox, Steam, EA, Epic Games, Ubisoft, good old games, and battle.net. So you can go ahead and get your games from any one of those platforms. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you, and I'll catch you in the next one.